Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses. Today I got a little topic for our Friday philosophy, and this one is friends. And I've talked in a couple of the videos about the importance of having good friends and just having good people in your corner. If you are around successful people, you'll be more likely to be successful. And if you're around people that aren't, you're more likely to to come down to their level, so to speak. Um, we all have seen horses do the same thing. You know, if you have a horse that's very well trained, he will oftentimes go to the rider's level. So if you have a horse that's really good and he can do some really cool stuff, and you put him with a person that's not very educated and doesn't know how to kind of help keep him there, he will just kind of go down to their level, and wherever they're at, that's where that horse will be. And then we've also, you know, as trainers, we're living proof of this. We take a horse that isn't very educated and that isn't very, you know, maybe talented in the highest level, but because they're around us and because we work with them every day, we bring them up. We kind of get up to the next level, and we bring them along with us. We teach them how to carry themselves better and have better skills and move more athletically and just be better horses. So that's something that we do. When you're with friends, I try to always have friends in my corner that do two things. One of them is going to be tell me when I'm right. I want, you know, a lot of times I'm going to need somebody that's going to tell me, hey, I think that's a good idea. You should go with that. And so having somebody in my my friends list, or somebody that I care about their input or their opinion, and they tell me, hey, that's a great idea, you should do that, that gives me more confidence that it's probably a good idea, because not all of my ideas are great. So if somebody else thinks it is, then it's good. Helps me be more confident in that. And at the same time, having a really good friend that'll also tell you when you shouldn't. Like, they're going to tell you, hey, that's not a good idea. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, whatever it is. We, a lot of times, will get blinded by, you know, our dreams and our aspirations, and we think we can do this and do that. And there's been a lot of times when I've stretched myself too thin, or I've overcommitted and haven't been able to carry through. And so that's something that's not very good. So having a friend that will tell you, hey, you're pulling yourself too thin. You should not try to do that right now. Or that's too big a bite. You shouldn't try to do all that. That's very important. So pick friends and make sure that, and also you be the more, I think the more our friends like us, the less likely they are to tell us when we're wrong. So having a friend that will say, hey, you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, or you're out of line, or you're expecting too much, or whatever. I think a lot of times it's hard to find those friends that will tell us that. And maybe part of it is because when they say that, we don't like it, so we quit hanging out with them, right? We go, if you're gonna tell me I'm wrong, I'm not being friends with you anymore. So, but that's very valuable. I mean, and that's a hard decision to make, knowing your enemies will always tell you can't do it. They'll always tell you, hey, don't do that. You shouldn't. You're out. You're outside your lane, or whatever. You know, the people that don't like us will always tell us that. So it's tough to find a balance there where we know that person's our friend, and they're looking out for our best interests. And when they tell us, hey, you're out of line there, you probably shouldn't do that. Those friends are extremely valuable. And so anyway, I like to keep a group of friends. I've got some friends around me that I'm blessed to have, and they are so honest with me that they'll tell me when I'm doing it right, and they will be very supportive of me when I'm doing it. And when I'm out of line, they will be the first to take me aside and say, "Hey, Mark, you're out of line. You shouldn't do that." So that's really something that I value very much in my good friends. So anyway, when you're looking for friends, or when you have friends, keep that in mind. Just find friends and be honest with them when you think they're out of line. Don't just say, I'll just go along with them because they like it or whatever. Don't. Your casual friends you can do that with, but your really good friends, if you really care about them, tell them when they're out of line. They will appreciate. Well, the good ones will appreciate it. So anyway, just something little my tip for our Friday philosophy: knowing those, having a good set of friends, having a group of friends around you that will cheer you on when you're doing it right, and correct you when you're doing it wrong. It's really valuable. I don't think there's anybody that's going to be successful without those people in our lives that are going to help us distinguish when we're doing good and when we could do it better, or we shouldn't probably be heading that direction. So anyway, just my tip for today. Remember, we're all trying to be the person our horse deserves. And remember, your friends, help them be that person too. So catch you guys later.